The same Jewish and everything, but
Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam, shehakol nהיה bidbarei.
Amen.
Amen.
Achaim. Livracha. Okay. So we continue with the new Maimer Hasidic discourse, Ani l'Doidi v'Doidi li, I'm to my beloved is to me, which is the Rosh Tevis, the first letters of those words, spells Elul, the month of Elul, which is coming upon us. This Shabbos will be Shabbos Mevorchim. Shabbos blesses the new month, the month of Elul. So, Ani l'Doidi means I am to my beloved, meaning beginning with me from within, and I reach out to my beloved. That's the month of Elul, that we reach out to Hashem. We reach out to our Maker. And then my beloved is to me is Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, where God reaches out to us. He gives us the opportunity, we can coordinate Him. He gives us the opportunity, we can have cleansing, atonement. That's God reaching out to us. Awesome days. And so we are, the reason why it's in that one acronym is because Elul is a preparation for the new year. However, at the same time, we need to understand, because in the word Elul is my beloved is to me. In other words, there needs to be an aspect of where it's not just down up, meaning from within to above, from us, right, in our prep, but there has to be something up down, from above to below, in the month of Elul, not just as a prep, but is an aspect of Elul itself. And this is all based on the Alter Rebbe's teachings in Likutei Torah. There he continues and says that in Elul is a time of 13 attributes of divine compassion, divine mercy. And that's an up-down thing. That's something that comes from above, that God has compassion in this time. Now, when we speak about that, it's yet not in the same manner as like Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, that is, days of awe, that is, a truly an up-down experience. In other words, it begins with the awesomeness of the day that God provides. So God is providing, and we're responding. Elul, as we are saying, it's really what we're providing to begin with. And here, that God is providing the 13 divine attributes of compassion is what we call a nesinas koyach. It's an empowerment, but it's not, if you will, a gift from above, in a sense. I mean, in a sense, it is the gift from above, but now it's merely an empowerment rather than something that is great opportunity that God is showering us from above. And in that respect, there's something greater about the month of Elul than even Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Because Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we're really responding to God and the awesomeness of, those days. Elul, we're kind of making it on our own if we engage, right? Right. If we engage, in the month of Elul, it's out of our own initiative. Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, it's God's initiative. This is our own initiative. And in that respect, therefore, there's something greater about it. Okay. Now, Okay. Now, to understand this further, so we have, on the one hand, our initiative, right? I'm to my beloved, beginning with me. That's my initiative to reach out to my beloved, to God. My beloved is to me giving an empowerment, right? An empowerment, as we're explaining. These two ideas that is expressed, this empowerment in the 13 divine attributes of compassion that are revealed in the month of Elul, and they're revealed even to those who are distant from God. Even if you're distant, right? One of the ways you can know that you're distant is you're feeling anxious. You're feeling anxious because if God is close, you wouldn't be anxious, right? You wouldn't be anxious. Well, need a l'chaim for that one.
Yeah.
L'chaim bracha.
Thanks for the reminder.
No, the beautiful thing is God is shining his compassion at this time as an empowerment, right? But okay, let's go into that. So in order to appreciate this idea, what does this mean in empowerment? The Alter Rebbe offers a metaphor, famous metaphor. We've learned it last year at least, that the king is in the field. The king, obviously a metaphor for God. So usually the king is in his palace, and at times is even sitting on his royal chair with the crown, the crown of the king upon him, which that is like awesome, to behold that. But when the king is in the field, right? The king is in the field. Let's learn, right? Is not an awesome place, the field. Not like being in the inner chamber of the king after going through many chambers of the royal palace, and then you come to the inner chamber of the king, which only very few people can get there. Very few people get there. However, when he's in the field, everybody is permitted, has the capability to receive the king, those that want. That's the key. Hello, you got to want. Got to want it. If you don't want it, ain't happening. It ain't happening. So, if you want, you can receive the king, and the king will receive you. In the metaphor the Alter Rebbe gives, with savor upon him office, with a fine countenance, with a pleasant countenance. And he shows a wide smile to everyone. So that's the metaphor. What is the analog? The analog is that the revelation on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and likewise the 10 days of penitence, right? The 10 days from Rosh Hashanah till after Yom Kippur, they are similar to the king in his royal palace, in a manner that, just think about being in the royal palace, king sitting on his throne, with the Keser Malchus, with the crown upon the king, that, even though that's something very foreign to us, but think about it for a moment, how awesome that is. And like a real, good king, not a ruthless king, not the Tsar of Russia, But even that's a good metaphor. As Chassidim said that after the Tsar of Russia was assassinated and there was, Bolsheviks took over, they lost a metaphor for Chassidus of what a king is, right? And to appreciate, even though, yes, an evil individual, but yet, it served as a metaphor. In any case, so the analog is Hashem is in his inner chamber in a manner that whoever enters there is stricken by awe of the king. But in order to get there, in other words, to feel that when it comes to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, that you're going to be stricken with awe, with the presence of God at that time, in order that you should actually feel that on Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, how are you going to get there? You need the month of Elul beforehand. You need that through our divine service through the month of Elul, then we become choice people. We become choice. Huh?
What's up?
Tuesday, Wednesday is Rosh Chodesh. This Shabbos, as we said, is Shabbos Mevorchim, the Shabbos that blesses, right? The new month. So we need the month of Elul as a preface that through this we become special people because we do the things of Elul. We go out to greet the king in the field, right? So that makes us special, that therefore we then can go and enter into the palace of the king. Meaning that we can go into Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, and the days will be, as they're called, the days of awe. They won't be days that we, someone who came to, who used to pray at another Orthodox synagogue and on Chabad place, then he came, Chabad, actually a now retired but famous radio broadcaster here, and personality in Montreal, my dear friend Ephraim Baruch, or known as Tommy. So he came to pray by us the first Yom Kippur. So he says to me, where I used to pray, I used to look at I used to feel like, wow, 2 hours passed in the prayer service, and then I look at my watch and it was 2 minutes. Now it feels like it feels like 2 minutes have passed, and really it's been 2 hours. Well, that's a sense of really connecting to the holiday, right? So some people, they come in for the prayers and they have the exit strategy before they come in even, because, hey, the long day. And of course, that means he didn't prepare for those days, and they're not the days of awe. They're the days of fear, of getting, I gotta fast, I gotta stay and pray, and, the days of dislike. But what choice do I have? Hey, I'm a Jew, I gotta go through it, right? So that itself is, worthy of note. That there's something there. Now, of course, there's something much greater that these are days that are of awe, and because you've prepared for it, king in the field, you went and greeted, you prepared in the month of Elul, that now it's not something to get through, to get on the other side of the fast, to get on the other side of the prayer service. No, it's something that you engage in and in a sense of awe that you're in it. It's meaningful. It's awesome. It's actually awesome. After all, that's what it's called, the days of awe. So how are you going to feel that is because through the month of Elul, you become the chosen that can go into the inner chamber and perceive that. And that is the revelation in Elul, that the king is in the field in a manner that he reveals, meaning he's not sitting on his throne. He's in the field. He's like, yes, it's the king in the field, but in a sense, he's like others, right? Not in a awesome place. So he's in the field, which means that Elul is not an awesome time. It's an empowerment. It's not something that is like an awakening from above that is like touches us deeply. No, that's the king in the palace on his throne, right? But that's an initiative from above. And God gives us a Rosh Hashanah that we can crown him. He gives us Yom Kippur that we can have atonement. So we make a Shechianu on Yom Kippur, thanking God to bring us this time. Yeah, that we can fast. That we can be an angel-like in cleansing ourselves. That's awesome. But that's God's thing, that he gives us that opportunity. Of course, we got to avail ourselves, but the way we avail ourselves is through the month of Elul, that we make the preparation, that when we come to that, by the way, what's part of that preparation? What's part of the preparation in the month of Elul? Part of it. Of course, it's hearing the shofar every day, except for Shabbos. It's saying, LaDavid Hashem Eiri, we say an extra Kapitel Tehillim, right? We give more tzedakah. Do you know how we prepare? What we're doing right now, learning Chassidus, learning the Maimer. That's a great preparation, right? So it's an empowerment, though. This is an empowerment. This is not initiative from above. It's an empowerment. As the king is in the field, it doesn't give you a sense of awe, especially those who are field workers, which metaphorically means they're kind of on a lower level, right? Metaphorically, right? Don't look down at someone just because he's a field worker. Metaphorically, right? It's all a metaphor. So, meaning the field worker, well, think about it, the person who works the field is not a refined, not again, metaphorically, not a refined individual. So doesn't appreciate the refinement of a king on the throne. So that's who we are. We're kind of like that. So therefore, as it says, someone who wants to go out, you have to want. If you're a refined person and you have an opportunity to speak to the king, which means that's what prayer is, speaking to God, of course you want it. How many people feel that way? And we're going to go pray right now. How many people feel that? Of course, that's what I want. Is that what I really want? Refined person, that's what they really want. So we're kind of in the field. We want it, but we want to be on the other side of it. too, right? Because we get through it. Oh, we get to pray. So if you want to receive the king, then you can go out and receive the king. You have to want. It's our desire. When you're standing in the inner chamber of the king and he's on the throne with his crown, like, that's like pretty. But you're not going to get in there until you first want to go and greet the king on the field. And then that will give us a capability that we can go into the inner chamber. All right, folks. Powerful stuff. We'll see you soon. Thank you.